Good afternoon, everybody. Where's my video? There I am. Hello. How are you doing? Afternoon, Mumo, Crom, Danny, Sol, Paul, Johan, Monkey, Michael, Antonio, and David. Hello, David. Thank you very much for the $10. Much appreciated. Lee the Great. Thanks for being my personal Google. Okay. Google away. You have to say, no, what do you have to say? What is it? Alexa, isn't it? With Google? No. I don't know. I haven't got one. Anyway, thank you very much for the $10. Much appreciated. But with better stories and more charming accent. Exactly. Afternoon, Church. Ace, afternoon. Just quickly looking at the market this morning. Stock indices all over the place. FTSE, that's up and down, up and down, up and down. DAX was a lovely clean break this morning, this afternoon even. That's the Dow. DAX was a lovely clean break. Pen gone. There it is. So nice clean break on the DAX. Pre-market or 5-minute ORB, very nice. So the stop loss based ORB strategy done a nice bank today. That's up 170% this account, 170% in 5 weeks. I've got something else to show you on ORB in a minute. The normal hedging account up 44% this month, well, the last 4 or 5 weeks. Nice clean break on the DAX, so that's all banked. FTSE's a hedge today. So the FTSE hedge I'm leaving in place at the moment. The downside target on the FTSE hedge is down all the way down here at 150 ADR. With the way this market is going at the moment, I'm just going to let it breathe. It's all over the place. Absolute chaos. As you can see, things like that happening. So yes, 150 ADR, absolutely on the cards. So looking at these lows down here, basically this propulsion move for a retest this afternoon. There is an ADR low there, which is yesterday's low. I just don't think yesterday's highs and lows at the moment are really going to cut it with what's going on. This market is absolutely blown apart at the minute. I've never seen anything like it. So volatility doesn't even begin to describe what we're seeing with what's going on. ADRs, this thing's been alerts. I mean, you just do not get this many alerts going off on any dashboard ever. This thing's just parabolic is not even the word, is it? So Euro CAD, Euro Swiss, Euro Pound, Euro US dollar. I mean, today's not far off the highest day in the world ever. 180 pips. We're 175 ADR there. Euro Pound is way over 225. I mean, I don't even go above 225 ADR. There's no point because we get there less than 0.5% a year. Statistic, well, it's not actually. Yeah, well, it's 2% of the year we get above the 225 level, and that's usually on news. But to get there 3 days in a row on most of these euro pairs is just unbelievable. But anyway, this euro is just not stopping. So drawdown control city at the minute. Just can't get a break on this euro. I've never seen anything hug a moving average like this before. I mean, literally, you know, it's a trend trader's dream, isn't it? I wonder how many trend traders are still in this. They're probably out here somewhere. As soon as they saw that, they got scared. No one's holding that. But anyway, if you were, I mean, if you went long and got a trend breakout and you went, oh, that looks like a trend, I think I'll hold that. And then you went on holiday for a week and come back, you've held it. Other than that, no one's in this, are they? This is why trend trading doesn't work. You can't hold that because you've been stopped out on 70% of your trades already. But anyway, but yes, not stopping. So there's no point in going through ADRs. There's just ADRs every day. Unbelievable ADRs every day. Look at these weekly ranges and monthlies, yeah? It's the 5th of the month. We've done 125% of the EuroCAD's monthly range within the first few days of this month. Unbelievable. So we're going to look at the euro and everything in a minute. Just going to watch the open on the indices and see where we go at the open. We've broken long on the Dow, short on the NASDAQ. These indices are absolutely on fire at the moment. It's literally printing money every day. It's very hard not to make money on stuff that is just going parabolic. If you're a breakout trader at the moment, you are absolutely killing it, which is great when you're running strategies like this. Afternoon, Brian. Good day, I say. Good day to you too. Afternoon, Virginia. Peter. Yeah, so breaks long on the Dow, short on the NAS. Looking at levels today. Long on the Dow, pre-market high is all the way up there, miles away. Look how much movement we've had on this. I mean, this is the thing. Intraday movement on the US markets in the Globex session is almost as big as normal opens at the minute. The things are collapsing. Basically, everything's collapsing. I mean, look at this NASDAQ. It's just dead. So, yeah, if you want to use the trend pullback strategy we covered in the members stream yesterday, this is where you buy it. Anyway. So, yeah, we'll see where we go. But pre-market high, there's a 3R target within the pre-market high already today. 5R is up sort of in the middle of yesterday's move. So there's plenty of upside. I mean, there's so much upside on all of this at the minute, especially on the NASDAQ. But NASDAQ has broken short again. So just about to hit target on that. It's the thing. It's happening so quick at the moment. Targets are just done. But yeah, there's your 3R. Your 5R is within ADR, and that's within yesterday's low as well. So, you know, absolutely easy to hit targets on everything at the minute. So we'll see where they go, see if we get sustained momentum. Looks like it wants to at the minute, but obviously it's early doors. Got a long break on the Dow going on there as well. We'll see where we go. Right, so let's look at these FX markets. We'll go for the news first of all, and see what's going on. We've got the PMIs coming out at 3 o'clock. Afternoon, Chris. So be aware, obviously, be aware there might be some volatility coming at 3 o'clock. Some more volatility coming at 3 o'clock. So today we've already had the Aussie GDP that came out as forecast. No real movement off the Australian dollar. OADA spoke this morning. Nothing really upsetting there either. Trump spoke, upset everything. Just doesn't matter what he says. It's all irrelevant. Everything's irrelevant at the moment because every day there's something that is completely destroying or just doing something to the markets in some way. It's just you can't keep up. But anyway, he'll be speaking again later. CPI, we'll go through that in a minute. We came out as a slight positive on the Swiss franc this morning. So we were looking at an uptick of 0.4. We got a 0.5 uptick. We were looking at a 0.6 uptick. We got a 0.7 uptick. Non-farm came out it's a little bit down, but not very much. So that was pretty much on forecast. And obviously we've got the PMIs coming out in about 15 minutes. But that CPI number on the Swiss franc, Jesus, look at this. It's just I've had to turn the volume down on my computer because literally my dashboard goes off every 3 to 5 minutes. It's just mental. So the Swiss francs, not that you can really tell what's going on, but yeah, weakness on the Swiss franc on positive news. Again, absolutely nonsensical, all of this at the minute. But that's starting to pull back. So I've got longs on this at the moment. I'm holding on for dear life to everything that's working out at the minute. Looking for pullbacks on stuff, basically. Yeah, we got a lovely big strong move there. If you look at the CAD Swiss, we've had a little bit of movement to the upside. Euro Swiss obviously is parabolic. Pound Swiss, again, big strong push up. And New Zealand Swiss, same thing. So obviously Swiss franc, because it had good news, meaning that the interest rates would potentially go up on the Swissy, making the Swiss franc more strong, collapsed. The There's absolutely no sense in news at the moment because news is not driving the markets. Fundamentals at the moment to do with interest rates, inflation, unemployment, GDP have got no bearing whatsoever on world economics at the moment because this idiot has just completely destroyed the world order of trade. Mexico came out this afternoon and said, if the Trump tariffs remain in place, we're just going to deal with Canada. Yeah, so we've got America in the middle here, wanting to make loads of money. Trump, listen, everybody in the world is basically bypassing you and dealing with other people because you are an idiot. Wake up. Dollar. So, yeah. What the hell he's up to, I've no idea. Just destroying the economy of the US, destroying the stock markets, destroying economies, destroying businesses. All the businesses in the US at the moment cannot sustain a 25% increase in goods and therefore cannot pass the 25% increase onto consumers because they can't afford it because they're poor. Remember, you're making them great. And also, they cannot take a 25% cut on their bottom line because it's just not possible because they don't make that much. So basically what you've just done is destroyed every company in the US that imports any goods to manufacture with. Unbelievable. I haven't heard one economist, and I've been reading a lot over the last couple of weeks, I haven't heard one economist come out and say, this is a good move. Justin Trudeau came out yesterday and said, I don't often agree with Wall Street, but Donald, they say you're dumb. Yeah, if Wall Street says you're dumb, Donald, listen up, mate, because they pay your bills. Anyway, I won't go on anymore. Everybody kind of knows what's going on. But markets are in absolute turmoil at the minute. So Euro is the main beneficiary of all of these moves. For some reason, and somebody posted, I think it's Paul posted in the Discord group today, an article from Bloomberg. This seems to be happening at the moment with what it seems is basically options purchases. So people, mainly hedge funds, are buying options in the euro at the moment because obviously they're not interested in buying US options. That's not on the table. You can't buy Canadian options because they've just got a load of tariffs on them. Chinese options are less valuable now because they've just had tariffs on them. Euro options at the moment have got threats of tariff but haven't got tariffs on. So they're pushing all of the money out of US and stocks into the euro at the moment. That seems to be what is happening. So the euro has become a safe haven. It's on the verge of going to war potentially. So I cannot see any reason how or why this can sustain, basically, because first of all, if you're buying options, someone's got to sell the option to you, and there's a limited stock of people that are going to want to do the other side of this transaction. At some point, you are going to get an exhaustion spike because there will not be anybody left up there to sell options to you. And at that point, you will have to sell. You have to sell the puts, basically, and it will all go the other way. So it's going to come down at some point. The question is, how long can they squeeze this before they run out of opposite parties to actually conduct business with? Because there is a limited number, and this is how the market moves and why the market moves the way it does. Because when you are scaled into a direction, at some point you cannot do any more physically because there is nobody left to buy your sell. You have to then unwind that position and scale into the next leg. Let them buy it back up again so that you can drive it back down. That's how the market works. This is why market structure exists and why it will always exist. Things like this, there's a fundamental behind it which is driving this up, which it looks like is going to be based on options calls, but they will expire. And when they expire, you can kiss that goodbye. So the main thing we need to focus on at the moment is what Lagarde is going to do tomorrow. If that comes out at 2.65 tomorrow, we're going to get that unwound very, very, very fast. If she decides not to drop that rate, which this could be a speculative buy into euro not dropping their rates, obviously worried about trade tariffs, there's a reason not to do it, and inflation is at target, reason you don't have to do it. If that comes out at 2.9 tomorrow, I don't know how far that thing can go, because if you want to suddenly go, right, brilliant, let's buy a load of euro, there's no idiot left there to sell it to you. So either way, tomorrow, I think we're going to get some kind of unwind on this, but whether we get a flag break or whether we get actually a pullback, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, these are just not stopping, these euro moves. US dollar yen ADR. We've got some yen movement on the... Right, is this US dollar or is this yen? Probably US dollar. Yeah, this is US dollar weakness again. Come on, Trump, wake up, mate. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Right? You say there's a saying, basically. I can't remember what the saying is now. It's gone out of my head. But anyway, it's something along the lines of there isn't a stupid question until you ask it twice. When you're doing something stupid and you see the reaction, and you do the stupid thing again and you see the reaction, if you do the stupid thing a third time, it makes you really stupid. He's not stopping the stupid stuff, right? You can see that your currency is devaluing. Everybody in your country is getting poorer and poorer and poorer by the day. Stop it. I don't get it. Yeah. All you're going to do is put everybody's prices up by 25%. Then they're going to combat you by putting 25% on your tariffs. You're going to put 25% on their tariffs. They're going to put 25% on your tariffs. Before you know it, you're like Brazil. If you want to buy a cup of coffee, you need 2 sports bags full of notes to go and get one. It ain't far, mate, if you carry on doing what you're doing. But anyway, he's not going to listen to me, is he? Because not listening to anybody by the looks of things. But anyway, so it's still going. You've got a US dollar. We're up at the highs there. So pound odd, we have actually got a reversal alert and a push to the downside starting. So pound is starting to see some weakness creeping in. If you've got any shorts on any pound pairs, those are looking like they are starting to move. Obviously not against the US dollar, because that's still coming down like a nutter. Yen is strengthening up at the moment. How long that will last, don't know. The yen doesn't seem to be used as a safe haven at the moment. So typically when the stock market starts to collapse like this, we get all the money flying into the yen and the Swiss franc. As we know, that is not happening with the Swiss franc at the moment. Certainly not happening with the yen. It seems to be the new beneficiary for safe haven is the euro. This is a typical exhaustion spike going in here. So when you see a candle that basically is a very large half ADR to ADR move that is not sustained within the hour, that's typically it. So watch for these types of candles. If you go back and look at things like the US dollar yen intervention moves, actually there's one on Euro US as well, the last spike we had on that, I think. No, maybe it wasn't. But if you look at most intervention moves or most exhaustion moves, I'm not going to be able to find one now, am I? Typical. You usually find they end with an exhaustion spike. Yeah, so you get, I mean, you look at the, let's zoom in on this so it's a bit clearer. This is a typical candle size, look, tiny little candles, and then you get a big move, and a big move, and a bigger move, and you get that exhaustion at the top. It never touches the top of that again, and then boom, off we go. That actually was an intervention leg, but at the end of an intervention leg, you get a very strong move to the upside, and that is the exhaustion point where the options calls are just not there anymore, and they have to basically push further to get the price filled, and there's no one left, so you have no option but to exit the position, and then it collapses back down again. And that's why you get hammers and shooting stars. It's exhaustion. So watch for that on all of these euro pairs, because that will be the time it will start to come back down again, or obviously inverse if it's a long. So yeah, RSIs and ADRs, there's absolutely no point in looking at anything today. These are unprecedented levels that we haven't seen for a very long time. If you go back on the 4 hours on these, yeah, we don't get to these levels. Oh, there you go. There's the exhaustion spike. It wasn't. It was euro odd. I knew there was one. I saw one. Yeah. So normal price action. This is actually, this is expanded volatility price action, but it's as normal as it is during that week. 150 on New Zealand US. And then you get this huge move. Yeah. This candle way bigger than the rest, but huge exhaustion at the top. Yeah. So that is basically, there are no sellers. So whenever you're buying away quite happily, you'll suddenly get to a point where you will put a batch of orders in at that price point and you'll get filled there. And all of a sudden it'll be like, I can't fill anymore. And it will collapse straight back down again. That's basically what you're looking for as the very final point. Obviously, it doesn't happen very often because these types of parabolic moves are rare. So, but keep your eyes peeled for an exhaustion spike. Either that or a triple rejection or double rejection. So you're looking for something along those lines where we're getting 2 long wicks, basically, which means basically exhaustion. Same thing. And that, as you've just said, Michael, is where you do aggressive drawdown control. When you see that, get in hard, stop above the high, risk whatever you need to risk. But if that works out, gets you out straight away of all the positions. Right, so yeah, Euro odd, obviously parabolic. They're all parabolic, but anyway. So this is, this is a bit of a mystery, this move. I can understand them. We have it where obviously we get the odd piece of news that leaks about what's going to happen with interest rates and things. And you get a sudden move a week or so before an interest rate where someone knows what's going to happen with the interest rate before the interest rate comes out. So it's leaked news, kind of insider tradey stuff. But either Lagarde is not changing interest rates tomorrow and someone knows something, or this is not sustainable. Yeah. So either way, I don't think this is sustainable. Yeah. This is, if you look at a weekly chart and look at the 2-week move, yeah, there you go. There's that exhaustion spike. So you don't get, there's one there. This is a very similar move that we're experiencing here, look, to what we had there. And then it will come down and it will be an A-shaped recovery because it's not sustainable. There's no fundamental reason for this, basically, is what I'm saying. But yeah, we're approaching these all-time highs as well. This level here, obviously 171, which is literally 1 ADR. We're 1 ADR away from this all-time high. Look, Euro US dollar. There's not really any support coming up on that, any resistance. But the biggest weeks ever without pullbacks. There will be a pullback on this, and it's all about just keeping your average as close as you can to that price, basically. But Euro New Zealand, we're out all-time highs. Euro yen, can't really look at. Euro pound, obviously we're still bearish on that. Pound's still stronger. However, that may well change. Euro Swiss, we're still inside ranges. Euro CAD, obviously, Canadian dollar getting absolutely hammered. I'm surprised we didn't get more of a bullish reaction on the Canadian dollar after what Trudeau said yesterday. Market not interested. At the end of the day, he is getting more tariffs. And as much as you fight back, you're not as big as the US. So we'll see. Euro odd, exhaustion creeping in there. So we have actually got some exhaustion starting to creep in on this one. So we'll see if we get a move down on that one. But anyway, so that what's going on with everything. It's all parabolic and all over the place. Let's have a quick look at the indices. So still dropping on the NASDAQ. We're holding pretty well at the minute. 2R on the DOW. We're just selling out of propulsion at the moment. NAS still coming down. DOW looks like it might be rejecting. See where we go with those. Afternoon noob, FTNet, Harold. I saw your P&L, Harold. There's something wrong with your P&L. That's not right. You can't make that much profit. It's too much. You made over 100,000 on an account that was nowhere near that size. That can't be right. You need to adjust your dashboard. Is that good timing for aggressive drawdown? Oh, yeah. So aggressive drawdown control is obviously now is the time you want to do it. Let's quickly put up the VPS and have a look at the zones. So obviously everything is blown out the water at the moment. So in huge drawdown, I did a load of drawdown control yesterday on the account, 7% taken off. I've got 1.1 banked back today. So account's still up, which is good. But way too much heat on these euros. I'm cutting basically constantly. We've got news in 3 minutes. So I'm just continuously cutting above the line basically on these. So obviously the D button will highlight all the trades, which is pretty much everything at the moment, that is going to improve your average. So I'm just going through basically my process for drawdown control is whatever is going to improve average, highlighted obviously. Then I focus on what is in the most drawdown. And at the moment, everything is basically in drawdown against the US dollar and the euro, obviously, at the minute. So it's just a case of focusing on the worst case scenarios, but not necessarily the one that's got the biggest drawdown. Also focusing on what's got the largest lot exposure as well. So, for example, here, that's in profit. It's those two here. So Euro New Zealand and Euro Odd, they're both the same pair, basically, overexposed on this. Shouldn't be in that much drawdown on it, really. But those two basically are the focal points because they've got the largest lot size on. So if they are going to squeeze further, then you want to get this down, basically, because it reduces the speed of drawdown. So the focus is on Euro Odd and Euro New Zealand. So it's these trades here. Those trades there. So when I'm focusing on drawdown control, that's how I'm doing it basically. And then looking at what is in the most drawdown with the largest lot size. So for this particular drawdown control tranche, if you like, those two would be my focus because I've got 0.45 lots and 0.35 lots on. They're both actually, tell a lie. Yeah, no, sorry, not that one, because that is not going to improve my average price. This one will improve my average price because it's got the black box around it. So that will be what I will focus on removing size on. Then that trade, because it's 14, 21, 35. So that would be the lot size I'd remove next. And then it would be Euro New Zealand, getting some of that off. So these three here are all going to improve average price. This one's got 0.49 on. Sorry, that's not going to improve average price. This one's got 0.28 on. So that's where I would focus. So at the moment, that's banked. I'm going to bank this today, New Zealand dollar Swiss at some point, Aussie dollar Swiss as well. So I've got 2.5, 3.5, nearly 4% of drawdown control to do, which means I can cut that completely, cut that one completely, and probably cut one of those completely. Let's just quickly see what the news has done. US dollar CAD ADR looks like negative US. New Zealand dollar Swiss just alerted as well. Let's just see what this does with this US move. Oh, bullish US. Blimey. Bullish news for the US dollar. Who'd have thought it? 53.5 on a 52.5. So, yeah, they were forecasting a drop, and we actually got an increase. But are you surprised? Are we at the moment surprised that the Purchasing Managers Index is finding it more expensive? No. This is going to go up, which basically will drive up prices, which will drive up interest rates. Donald Trump said today, one of the things he's impressed about is that interest rates are dropping. Carry on like you are, mate, and they'll be doubling. So there's got to be a master plan somewhere, hasn't there? In all this madness, he's got to have some master plan. And at one point, he's just going to turn around and go, gotcha, this is what I've just done, but you didn't notice. And everyone's going to go, oh, well done. And everything will go back to normal. Either that or it's World War III, one or the other. But yeah, anyway, so that's gone up. So that is bullish. And the only reason that is bullish is because it's going to drive up CPI, which is going to drive up interest rates, which strengthens the US dollar. Good luck strengthening something that's falling down the stairs, and the stairs is an unlimited amount of distance. But anyway, good luck with that. Not sure. Initial balance was 100k. I just kept it at that, mainly for tracking. Yeah. Been running since January 24. Made 116k. Cool. More like 5%. Yeah. You need to adjust that if you're using the old trade manager dashboard, and in fact, if you're using if you're using the new dashboard, periodically you need to adjust this starting account balance, because obviously the starting account balance is what it calculates all of your historical data from. This is all live data, so this is based on your actual account balance now. So it's good practice, and it depends. The reason I have that setting in there is because if you're using your account to withdraw from on a regular basis, which most people are, what you tend to do is you withdraw your profit, and then you withdraw your profit. So your P&L goes up and you withdraw your profit. If you're using it to compound the account, you're keeping the money in there, you need to adjust up the amount basically, sort of every month-ish, just to make sure that the figures actually tally up, basically. Because what's happening in most cases, not everybody does this, but most people are using a percentage risk. So if you have an account balance that starts at 10k, and after 6 months you've increased it to 20k, what you're doing is you're taking double the risk, but your account balance is showing that you're making double the profit. You're not making double the profit. You're making the same percentage gain of profit. It's just the values are higher. So the best thing to do with this dashboard is to remove the profit column completely here and work on percentages, because percentages are exactly the same regardless of whether you're using a 100k account or a 1k account. 1% is 1%. So, but you do need to adjust it on a regular basis, basically. Let me just quickly look at these Swiss pairs. We just got more movement on the Swiss franc, and I don't want to lose this profit. So it's not stopping, is it? What is sending the Swiss franc off now? Swiss franc collapsing. Total opposite, isn't it? This is the weird thing about this situation. This is why I keep saying I'm so confused by this situation, because it's the complete opposite to economics and fundamentals. When the stock market collapses because of fear, the Swiss franc and the yen rally. It's happened for decades, because what you do is you take your money out of risky assets. This is where we see this fear and greed index. When you're in extreme fear, you take your money out of risky assets, risk off it's called, and you put it into safe assets, Swiss, yen, gold. When you're extremely like, I know what's going on, you buy a load of stocks and you pull all your money out of the Swiss and the yen. Stock market collapsing, Swiss franc collapsing, yen weak. Absolutely nonsensical. It's not the way this has typically worked in the past. Doesn't mean it's not a new world order. Don't know. But anyway, I can't. This could be an exhaustion spike, which is what's slightly worrying me. Which is why I'm kind of looking to watch it. I'm going to bank some of this. I pushed out an update for the dashboard today. Anybody that's got the dashboard, there was a slight bug in the quarter percent button, quarter size button rather. When you press that, if your broker doesn't auto round your lot sizing up, you get an error message and it wouldn't close. So I've just auto rounded for the broker, so that's fixed. So if you want to update your dashboard to the latest version, you can do. So this one probably wouldn't work because I'm on the old one still. 2.3 on New Zealand Swiss. That's actually gapped up on that newslet. They didn't just sell the Swiss, they collapsed it there. I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. This is the first time I've seen a market like this. Not even last Trump was like this. Bananas. Euro coming down. How could prices in the US just increase? How could prices in the US just increase? What do you mean? Very easily. With what Trump's doing, everything will increase. Euro. Okay, so we're 150 ADR. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So we're approaching exit points in propulsion on New Zealand and the Aussie Swiss. So I'm going to take New Zealand Swiss off, 2.5%. Stick that in the bank. Aussie dollar Swiss. Oh, wrong account. Aussie dollar Swiss. There's average. I think I'm going to do a partial on that. So I'm going to take that 1.6 off. I'm going to leave the rest on because that brings the drawdown down nicely. So what I'm looking at the Aussie dollar Swiss, I'm looking at about all these Swiss pairs. Potentially market structure shift back to the upside. If that is going to happen, and I can't see why the Swiss franc would be so weak, but you can't see why anything is doing anything at the moment. If that is going to happen, obviously I can add back on that one. Do you know what? I might just take it off. What's my Swiss exposure? 1.78. That's the only Swiss. So I'll be out of the Swiss, basically. No, I wouldn't, because I've got CAD Swiss. Long. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to take the Aussie Swiss off completely, actually, because I've got CAD Swiss long. Still got Swiss exposure on. It reduces my New Zealand and my Australian exposure right down, which is what I want to do, basically. So I've got that 5.19, so I can use some of that for drawdown control. So I'm going to monitor this for the minute and just see what happens with these euro pairs, because if this euro does decide we are not going any higher, and this is the ultimate all-time high that we're going to get before the pullback, I don't want to do drawdown control right now. I will do it later on today. If this starts to come down, I won't be doing any drawdown control. So just going to watch these for the next hour and just see if they hold. Euro Swiss obviously is going to continue going because the Swiss is getting killed. Euro pound is also starting to struggle. We've got some nice wicks to the upside creeping in now. We've got an inside bar forming, which is a symmetrical triangle on a low time frame. So there is potential contraction before a retracement. Euro New Zealand has rejected today's high, so we've put in a lower high on the day. Double top, really. So reversal alert there. That was the old reversal alert before the high was made. So that's a double top. So any push back down and break below that level would be an M pattern reversal. Euro US dollar, obviously we'll have to just wait and see, but we're 200 ADR on the day again. So we'll see where we go. How could prices just get in the US increase? You were being sarcastic, yeah. Honestly, for someone that's been doing this for such a long time, to have someone come in and destroy the market like this. I've traded through bank collapses. I've traded through all sorts of things. I've traded through Liz Truss collapsing the market. I've traded through COVID. I've traded through an entire Trump presidency. I've never traded through anything like this. This is like we've got World War III on the door. We've got one of the biggest allies for Europe and the UK deciding actually they're going to now be a communist country and side with Putin. We've got Putin negotiating on the US's behalf with Iran, and we've got a trade war starting, which no one can win, because as soon as a trade war starts, you put tariffs on someone and they put tariffs back on you. So you increase your tariffs and they increase their tariffs. The only person that loses is somebody that isn't a millionaire. And all this is happening at the same time as we've got economic moves, new world orders really starting, with Europe having to completely fund its own defence and not rely on its biggest ally for the last 60, 70 years. I've never seen a market move like this before, is basically what I'm trying to say. It just doesn't happen, does it? But anyway, we will see what happens. At the moment, it looks like it's just a normal squeeze that we're waiting for things to happen on. But I am very conscious that that could also happen. So, you might need, I might need to cut some of these out, these euros, if they continue to push. But we'll wait and see what happens. I'm going to go through all the zones. Not that they're actually that much use at the moment, because obviously you're not just blowing through zones, you're blowing through economic moves, economic fundamentals and everything at the same time at the moment. So, but I need to adjust obviously the levels to get in to new positions. So I'm going to do that now. A weak US dollar seems to be the game plan for Trump. Yeah, which begs the question, doesn't it? Why would you put a cap on saying "Make America Great"? Surely most people in America would read that as "Make me richer," because it makes me great. But no, what it means is you're all going to lose your jobs. First thing he did, wouldn't he, when he came in, he got Elon Musk to come in and sack everybody in government. Sack a lot of them. Sack everybody that works in the forest. Sack them all. Get rid of them all. It'll be tremendous. Yeah, they all voted for him. Mental. Just needs US dollar CAD to flush. Yeah, there you go. Your wish is its command. It's flushing nicely. I'm so glad I got out of that long yesterday. So yeah, that propulsion gap. This is the previous high before the propulsion move, which it seems they are reselling. So back down into here, and then your guess is as good as anybody on the planet at the moment. How much drawdown do you have on a position trading? How much drawdown do you have on position trading EA? I'm curious about the difference, because I use H1M5 and RSI 7030. Do you mean the position trader EA account? So that's in 19% at the moment. This is doing automatic drawdown control as well. So, oh, Aussie dollar Swiss and New Zealand Swiss. Close and get rid of. I can remove that now. I'm not trading Aussie Swiss and I'm not trading New Zealand Swiss. Those were accidentally set up. I didn't mean to trade those. So, yeah, 20% at the moment. But this is, as I say, doing automatic drawdown control. So it's automatically scaling out of the positions for me. I think I've got it set 6. Yeah, so 6 is the maximum number of trades it will take. So if you look at, I can't see now because so Euro odd, for example. There we go. So it's doing auto DD control. I'm trying to leave this to be as hands-off as possible. So there's 2 DD controls been done on that one. Maximum 6 trades. So depending how you've got yours set up, you are still in drawdown. If you're in drawdown, you're in more drawdown than I would be on this one. But if you're doing auto DD, then yeah. But I mean, all the back testing I've done, it's not often you get more than 6 trades in a position. It's got to be a fairly strong squeeze to get you into more than 6 trades. At the moment, obviously, with this move, you know, all the pairs as well. The euro is the one that should be bearish because of what they're doing with interest rates. They've been dropping interest rates. They've hit their CPI target. They're going to continue to drop those rates because CPI is likely to overshoot. It's nothing but bearish. You know, this is why this is so illogical. You don't sell the US dollar to buy the euro, especially when you're just about to stick tariffs on it. The only other upside to this euro at the moment is obviously with the economics that are going on at the moment in the eurozone, where the defense spending is going to need to massively ramp up for all European countries. There's going to be a lot of additional borrowing, so it's likely that there will be a load of bond sales going on, which will bolster the euro. However, they have not announced at all what the plan is to do that, how they're going to raise all these funds for defence spending. So what I suspect the market is doing at the minute is, which is kind of what that Bloomberg article said, they're speculatively buying options in the euro, assuming. But, you know, it's a very well-known saying in many circles, assume makes an arse of you and me. Everything you assume is not usually right, which is the buy the rumour, sell the news aspect. And they are buying the crap out of the rumour. So 9 times out of 10, you get that A-shaped recovery because it doesn't happen. Yeah, it's the same with Trump. Trump says something and then he undoes it the next day. Well, he doesn't undo it because it wasn't something he could do. He just says it. And then everyone goes, holy crap, do you hear what Trump said? Yeah, but he can't do that. Oh, all right. Have you seen what Euro's going to have to do? They're going to have to borrow 600 quadrillion to buy a load of airplane. No, they're not, because no one can lend it to them. All right. That's this type of move I think we have going on here at the moment. But we will be proved right or wrong in the next week or so. Morning, Meh. Morning, Mark. I'm in 23, not such a big difference. Bank 2.5% today. Cool. Right, let me just quickly check what's going on with the indices. Look at that, all my lovely profit. Poof, gone. Today. Whippy session. I should imagine we're hedged. Yeah, hedged on the NASDAQ. Still long Dow though. So still got an opportunity to pay for the NASDAQ with the Dow. Oh, this is coming down hard again, look. A lot of volume and volatility today. It's exciting stuff. Very exciting. Not very profitable, but exciting. Right, let's go through the zones. So, Aussie dollar CAD out the longs yesterday in propulsion. Bounced nicely out of that. We have pushed up now again. So looking for a sell up in the highs for Aussie CAD. Nearly there. So I should get that one on today. Exited Aussie dollar Swiss. That's pulling back off of that nicely. I'm very glad I exited that Aussie Swiss. So that's pulling back from the highs. Not taking shorts at the minute. Too expensive. So I'll be looking to get back in long. But right now I'm just leaving it. I'm not going to start to get back in to any long positions at the moment. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I still don't believe that this Swiss franc should be weakening. It should be strengthening. So I'm not convinced on this move. But Aussie New Zealand, looking for longs. Might be about to take one. Can't actually see if that is actually going to trigger. It may trigger. If it does, absolutely fine to get out in the propulsion move to the upside. If it doesn't trigger, I'll need it to come down a bit further. Looking for this area here roughly to get tested. Aussie US, one short, looking for an exit down in the lows. Looking for a second entry at this previous support, which we broke and retested. So this is where the sellers are currently sitting. Let's drive that move down. So that's where they'll add if we are still short. Who knows what we are at the minute? We are short. We might be. Who knows? CAD Swiss, longs on at the minute. Looking for next entry if we double bottom. So this is my long that I have left on the Swiss. This is the only long I've got on the Swissy at the moment. Just going to move my target down into propulsion on that one. Euro odd, shorts on. Yeah, I mean, it's Euro. So next short is out in the clouds, isn't it? So I'm not going to go. I mean, that is obviously previous high, but this is the other previous high, sort of there, which is where we are at the moment. So, and that looks like what we're rejecting. So I can't take a trade there because it's too close to the existing trade that I have on. So that's why I've got the zone higher up. So all I'm doing literally is sticking it above that area. I'm looking to scale in. We're pretty much all-time highs, aren't we? So yeah, but lovely rejection going in on that euro at the minute. We are struggling to find sellers at these highs. So market is not able to find anyone else stupid enough to sell this. But as soon as they start taking profit on it, we'll be coming down very quick on that. Why is that text not? Why is that text there? That's not updating, is it? That's a bug. I need to get that. So the line's updating, but the text isn't. I need to get that fixed. I'll push an update out for that and get that done. Can't work out why it's not doing it, but anyway. It's certainly not doing it, is it? EuroCAD, next entry is about to go in literally in the next half an hour, assuming we hold above that level. So average is nice and easy to achieve. My target at the moment on this one, this is where we've broken out from and didn't quite get the retest on it. So at the minute, I'm just looking at this propulsion gap here, but that is obviously probably the more logical spot. Not up there. For an exit in that propulsion gap there. So this little accumulation that we had for this back half of last week, that's where we broke from. So if we come back and retest anywhere around this area, really, but I'll just be glad to get out of it at the minute, to be honest. So just an exit will be good. Euro Swiss, I got out of this in the week, but obviously it's gone parabolic and couldn't tell what was going to happen with this. The reason I exited this one was because the Swiss franc usually moves with the euro. For the euro to be able to take advantage of the Swissy like this, you have to have the Swiss franc being massively weak while the euro is massively strong. It doesn't make any sense for the euro to be the Swiss franc to be this weak. Obviously, couple that with the euro strength, we're off. So that was what I was expecting to continue. That double top, lower high, lower low, continuing down. Absolutely no reason why it shouldn't, but obviously it has. So right now I'm looking for long opportunities on it. I'm not interested unless it comes all the way back down to this propulsion at the moment. If it starts to normalize and we get normal volume, then I will look at these highs basically as potential bounce point to the upside. But right now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Euro pound, next short is about to go in. I don't think I'm going to get it on. So we're currently inside bar. So if this does actually break down, it's going to be lower than my average, which means the trade won't get triggered because it'll be too close to that one. But if we do close up here, bearish, that'll be next entry going in, and I'll have to readjust that. Target to the downside. This is the safe target. And here, which is the previous support. The aggressive target would be down in propulsion. So I'm going to leave it safe for the minute because just want to try and get out of some euro exposure. So any euro exposure I can close out is going to be done. So that's obviously still profit, but I've only got a couple of positions on that one at the moment, so it's not in any drawdown or anything. It's just waiting. Euro New Zealand, next short already taken. Again, we're out in the gods, so you know, there's no way you can put resistance. It's above the next area, so somewhere that's around about 3/4 of an ADR away from that entry. So that's where I'm going short again if it continues to push inside bar on that double top. So hopefully that might hold. We'll see. Give it another half an hour. Euro US dollar, about to take next short on that one. Target definitely not going to be all the way down there, so obvious spot for downside is previous highs. So that'll be my exit. Come and test this propulsion gap, just get out. Pound odd, looking for longs. So this is basically going to be a 38 retracement entry. Again, commodity pairs getting absolutely hammered at the moment with what's going on with the potential Ukraine deal. If you export commodities and minerals as they do in Australia and New Zealand, and you suddenly get US becoming a major competitor, ain't going to do well for your export business, is it? So Aussie and New Zealand are obviously noticeably weak at the moment. So it could well just flag break and run. Although I can't see anything positive for the pound either at the minute, really, but we'll see. So the only positive thing we got going for the pound at the moment is that Trump has said at the moment that we're not going to get any trade tariffs. So that kind of makes sense to pull back into there. That would be second entry. Third entry would be somewhere around here. So we'll see what happens with that one if I can get in long. Pound CAD, same thing, looking for long entry. Just wanting to pull back on it. Pound Swiss, I mean, this is just a sideways mess at the moment. So zooming in and looking at this really for a buy, got to look at propulsion to the downside. Anywhere in there, I'll be interested in buying it. It's just range bound. We're rejecting the highs at the moment, but we are putting in new higher highs every time. We're putting in higher lows, so it's an ever such a gradual grind to the upside. So if we're going to continue to do that, buy it down there and look for push up. Pound US dollar, out the all-time highs again. DD control been done on this one as well. So that's an old propulsion gap, which is now filled. So yeah, I mean, anywhere above here, basically, isn't it? There's not really anywhere you can pick that's obvious. This is the trouble with a lot of these moves. We are parabolic out into areas we've not touched for a while now. Just nothing of interest. Got that 4-hour accumulation there basically is really all I can see of any interest, which is not really. It's this tiny propulsion move which we accumulated here for around about a day, and then we broke out, accumulated and dropped from. So this is kind of, that's the move, that's the ad, this is another ad. So there are sellers there. We know there's sellers there. So that makes logical sense to be the next spot. So I'm going to stick it in there. We're not quite there yet. I'm not in any hurry to get more exposure on against the US at the minute. So that's fine. New Zealand dollar CAD looking for longs. Out of the longs on this one yesterday, up into propulsion. This is target. This was target yesterday. We would have hit it today, but I got out a day early. I want to get back in, but not aggressively. So I'm going to look at this area here is where we pushed and we retested. So somewhere around there, if we can pull back into here, and again, creating that upward sort of channel, really. Look for longs. New Zealand Swiss exited longs in propulsion, rejecting nicely out of propulsion. So I want longs on this. So down here, if we double bottom, I will get back in. Not really interested in anything else at the moment. New Zealand US, again, double bottom, out of the longs. This did flip me short, and I exited the shorts because I didn't want any more US dollar exposure on at the moment. So if we come up and test these highs, I will short it. If we test these lows, I will long it. We're in the middle of a range at the minute. I'm not really interested. So until I know what we're doing, it either starts to drop, then that will be my long and back up. Other than that, this could just go parabolic back up to retest those highs. And if it gets to there, it should bounce. If it doesn't bounce when it gets to there, it'll be absolutely exhausted by the time it gets through it. And then I can scale into shorts. But that's what I'm going to do with that at the minute. US dollar CAD, out the long on that one yesterday. Perfect exit. So that's your propulsion gap fill. Yeah, want to get long in it again. So I'm looking at the propulsion gaps to the downside for a long entry. And US dollar Swiss, looking for a double bottom entry for the third position, which it missed literally by a pip yesterday. I know, today. Missed me by a pip, look. So that is this previous, you can't see it because I haven't got enough drawn in, but this is a previous propulsion gap, which we've not, we literally just retested it, but not been tested yet. So previous resistance, broke through it. We haven't tested this area, so we should get a bounce. It might actually be bouncing now. So target to the upside, I'm leaving at propulsion here. That's easily going to get hit when it does go. Whether it gets up to there or not is down to Mr. Trump, and whether or not he can actually say something positive about the US dollar or do something positive with the US dollar. But right now, that is profitable exit, so that's where I'll leave it. There we go. There's all your zones done. Afternoon, elevated. Peter, could be that those moves happening on currency pairs make indices choppy? Well, yeah, everything's related. You know, you can't tell when chop's coming, because if you could tell when chop's coming, you would just basically either trade range highs and lows, or you wouldn't trade. Correlation between FX moves and indices doesn't help you in any way, shape or form. You can identify it's choppy because of what's happening in FX, but if you knew what was happening in FX was going to happen in FX, you would know what to do in the indices. That's where our time machine comes in, which would be lovely, but we haven't got one. There's a question asked on Monday's live regarding the SIH. Fire away. I think you should get a cap made saying, make trading great again. Yeah, I'd love to. Trading is great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with trading. At the moment, you just need to go the right way. So what was your question, Mumo, on the SIH? So while I'm waiting for this to do something, oh my god, massive terminal. So this is a new version of ORB version 2. So I've been working on this EA here is opening range breakout version 2. It's done 140% odd since I've been forward testing it. So I've back tested it thoroughly, been forward testing it. We know the edge is there for the strategy. That's not in question. It's just looking for ways to improve upon the portfolio approach of it. So one issue I've noticed with this version of the EA is that it's not quite getting the lot multiplication right. It doesn't need it because it works without lot multiplication anyway. The edge is still there. But with the lot multiplication, the edge is exponentially larger and it's still fairly safe. So I've been working on a new version today, which is this one here, which is not optimized at all yet. I've literally just used the same settings as I know work with ORB. So this is just a different loss recovery strategy, if you like, that this is using. So this is a 1-year back test, all using stop losses and using fixed lot maximums as well. So it's not martingale in any way, shape or form. It has a maximum lots that it can get to. When it gets to that maximum lots, it cannot exceed them, and it always uses a stop. The stop is always 10% of ADR. The risk reward is always 3-to-1. So it's a very standard breakout strategy. But as you can see, the equity curve is pretty nice on it. It's got 1.25 profit factor, 78 grand profit in a year off a 50k account with a 20% drawdown. So yeah, it's very good. But all I've done is I've adjusted the way that the lot multiplication works on this, so that it's making sure that every trade it takes, it's using the correct multiplication. I've got to forward test this now with multiple instruments, because the EA works on a multi-instrument basis where you put it onto one chart and trade all instruments from the same chart. And this is using a profit target of 2.5k per day with a 2k max drawdown. So this is designed for prop. So the idea is you pass prop in 2 days or you fail it in 3. Very simple. Either the market works or it doesn't. If it doesn't, there's nothing you can do to pass prop, because the market's not right for the strategy. Either the market fits the strategy or it doesn't. That's it. So it's set up for prop passing. Obviously, it's going to blow an account because you know there isn't a strategy on the planet that is not going to go over a 10% drawdown. This has done 20k drawdown, which it's using a fixed $500 loss as well, so you can obviously reduce all of this, but sorry, $500 risk. But yeah, so I've got it, I think, where I want it to be. So tomorrow I'm going to start on this account. I'm going to start live forward testing it, just to make sure that it handles each individual instrument correctly. The other difference between the normal ORB EA and this version of ORB is this does not use the open time at all. Yep. So you'll notice in the settings here, it uses range breaks based on bars. It does not use time. So one of the things that I've identified with ORB is we've got the pre-market range, and then the post-market range, and then the initial balance range. Yeah, those are the 3 main ranges you can take breaks of when you're trading opening ranges. So what I've identified is it doesn't matter which of those you take. It basically, they either will or they won't work. The whole purpose of ORB is it's a momentum breakout strategy. If the momentum is there pre-market, trade pre-market. If the momentum isn't there at the open, don't trade the open. If the momentum happens to come in 30 minutes after the open, trade that. So what this EA's logic is doing is it's a little bit more intelligent in the fact that it's not looking at times. It doesn't care what time of day it is. If it's the open and the open does that, it just ignores it. If the open does that, it will trade it. Yeah. If the pre-market, an hour before the open in New York, does that, it will start trading then. So it doesn't trade set times, it trades volatility. So it's basically, it could also be used in Forex. I haven't tested this yet, but it can be applied to any market. It doesn't have to be indices. Obviously, indices is what we focus on. But this variation just looks for trades, basically, at specific times of day. So I'll just show you an example. That time there is 10 o'clock. Okay, so what this today, on this day, what it decided to do was take a 5-minute pre-market range and at the open take the pre-market 5-minute ORB. That was the one that worked that day. 3.5 grand, job done. Yeah, and then it sat around all day doing nothing because it hit target. Yeah, so the idea is we want to make money. Yeah, so if you've made 3.5 grand, and this is where the other kind of intelligence logic comes into it. If we've made 3.5 grand, we're not going to bother trading again today because we've done it. We got in on the 5-minute open, we took a trade, and within half an hour, we were done for the day. Off you go and walk the dog, do something else. Forget the rest of the day. You could, if you wanted to, on this day, carry on trading. Yeah, so instead of stopping after that initial trade, you could say, find me another decent volatile period and trade that as well. So there's our initial trade. It came all the way back down and we found another range which was decent and tradable that would work. So it's decided to trade that. So that 3.5 grand we had, we've actually made it 1,200 now because we've just taken a loss. So we've just given half of our profits back. But we'll try and recover that. There we go. So we're now up 3,687 on the day. We actually made 5,400 by carrying on trading. So the choice is there, whether you want to carry on after you've made money or you want to just make money and stop. It will also carry on trading now if it finds another opportunity, which it's probably not going to because there's no volume. So its volume is all measured down here. I've removed volume from there. It is being measured in the background, but you don't need to worry about it because it's not shown anymore. So yeah, so that's basically what it does. So there you go. We're up 5,002. So we're now up to 60K. We've just passed an evaluation, everybody. Well done. Get your little certificate and let's carry on trading. So we've passed evaluation. Now we've just done 10 grand in 2 days. Job done. But it wasn't easy because we had the initial break there. We had 2 losing trades there. Then we finally found a range that worked, but the range didn't happen until 45 minutes into the day, and that was the break. We took it because we're not bothered about the open. We're not bothered about the pre-market. We're bothered about the volume that's coming through the market and when the market decides to break out. It isn't always going to be the same time every day. So it's got a little bit more intelligence built into this version. So we've taken another break here. That happens to be the 5-minute ORB. So the pre-market wasn't interested. The 5-minute range today seems nice. So we've taken the 5-minute ORB. We're going long. Didn't work out. So we flipped short on a new range that we've found to do with a 15-minute range there, which occurred an hour before the New York Open. So we've traded short on the DAX an hour before the New York Open because volatility has just entered. Could have been a news event or something. That didn't work out either. And now at the New York Open, we've found more volume. So we're going long. So we're down 522 on the day. And we closed the day there. I don't know what that was. It whizzed past, but pretty much break even on the day. So we didn't make any money. We didn't lose any money. 3 stop outs there, down 3K. Daily loss hit. Stop trading. Yeah, don't want to blow your account. Down again, up, down, 4 grand, 5 grand, hit target. We're up to 61.2. So you've now got 2K in your funded account. Take it. Don't carry on. Take it. Pay yourself. Pay your evaluation fees. Pay yourself some money. And then we'll start again tomorrow with some whatever's going to happen tomorrow. So next day, short. $200. Next day, got up to 700 there, could have taken that, but we're 1100 down, 26 down, stop for the day. 2.5 grand down. We've got 10k loss limit, so we've got another 3 days we can trade now. As long as the market does a breakout at some point, we'll get that back. 2.2, 2.6, 2.1. So close the day on 2.1 there. So we got all the loss back from the previous day. Again, if we have another bull day, let's pay ourselves. It's the key to making money with prop. Pay yourself, because it's going to go pop at some point. Choppy old day. Came out on profit, about $100 or something. Grand up. Closed out 1100 on a trailing stop. So $1,100 day. So we're up 63k now. So we're up 13k. Stop out. Stop for the day. All done. Chop. So again, this is the thing with this version of the EA. In a rotation day, you do not want to be trading stock indices in a rotation, because by the time you've identified you're in a rotation, yeah, short, long, you've missed it. You might get one trade on today, but you will have been chopped out on the breakout so many times. By the time you take that, if you go short and that is the one that actually does go long, you're just going to get chopped again. These are the days that blow your account. Stop. Got to have a loss limit built in. So we're down to 58k now. There we go. Just had another loss day. Again, look at this. You can't make money in rotation. Yeah, with a breakout strategy. You need another strategy running, which is a mean reversion strategy, which is playing the pre-market highs and the highs and lows of the days. The value area high, value area low, mean reversion strategy. That's what you need on these days. If you only knew these days were coming, you'd know which strategy to trade, wouldn't you? But we don't. Time machine. Time machine EA, as Noobs just said. So long break there, 5 grand banked up to 63k again. Pay yourself. Grand down, 1800 down, 1800 down on the day. Another bad day there, just choppy open. Didn't quite get that. All this is far too tight, this price action. There's no volume coming in here. It's just moving around on low volume. It's choppy, not tradable really. Nice clean break there, 5 grand. We're up to 65k now. 1800 down, lost day, 2.5. Oh, right. Prime example. If only we'd taken one more trade. Boom. That would have been a 4 or 5k day. Didn't take it. We hit our loss limit. Nothing you can do. Stop out. Clean break. Locked in. 500. That was up to 2.5k. You could have stopped at 2.5. But you see what I mean? It's got a hell of a lot more logic built into it now to take advantage of what you need to do when you're prop trading, and really what you should be doing when you're trading your own capital as well. Yeah, capital protection is what it's all about. If you haven't got capital, you can't trade. So I've kind of got this fine-tuned now to where I think I want it. But it needs forward testing as a portfolio, because I want this to be working on a portfolio, not on an individual instrument. On an individual instrument, we can do that very nicely. But on a portfolio, because we're taking 5 different, or potentially 2 different trades in the morning and 3 different trades in the afternoon, and potentially throughout the day now, because the logic works all day long, there's going to be instances where we're going to be able to hit those targets intraday very easily using a portfolio approach. 2.5 grand. If you get 2 or 3 clean breaks, but they don't all hit target, you can take those 2 or 3 clean breaks off and just bank them and be done. So it doesn't matter whether they hit target or not. If they hit target, you'd have had a 15k day. But do you want to have a 15k day, or do you want to have 2.5 grand days virtually every day? You know, if it's prop, that's what you're looking for, isn't it? Consistency. We're up to 83k. Don't forget, this is not fine-tuned. This is just trading at random based on volume. That's it. So it's finding volume spikes and it's taking the breaks of the volume. So if we're sitting there when the market's quiet doing absolutely nothing, and if it's quiet for days, it's quiet for days. It does nothing for days, which does happen. So, you know, even with this version, the previous version, actually today it has done something on all of them. But, you know, if it's quiet, it's not going to do anything. But the difference between this version and that version is this version only works here. Yeah. So where we are here now, doing absolutely nothing, we've taken our ranges. They haven't worked out. We've turned our $2,000 winning day into an 800 loss. That's it. So the only savior that I have now on this variation of the EA is a short break on the Dow. So if the Dow now decides to break short and doesn't stop out, it will recover the day and will be away. However, this thing, as soon as we get a push like that and a pullback, that will also be taken with the new version, but it won't be taken with this one. Yeah, because it's not working on time. That's the big difference. So I've done quite a lot of testing on this since I did the live room with the members on whichever day it was, Thursday last week. So this is obviously the evolution of it. As you can see, it's down now to 68k. It was up to 80 something. So it will have blown your account. But it doesn't matter. We just restart, don't we? It's all about drawing money out. Yeah, when you get them in there, get the money in. But there's safe versions. This is the dangerous version, this one, because it's trying to go for $5,000 a day. So this is the greedy version. I wouldn't recommend the greedy version. I'd recommend the pay the mortgage version, which is that one. But obviously there's more to do on it, but it's coming along. So we'll cover this in a bit more detail in the member streams. Won't be tomorrow because I won't have it ready for tomorrow, but I will have it live testing tomorrow, so we'll be able to see it work as a portfolio tomorrow. But yeah, it's looking exciting. So hopefully we get a long break on the Dow, and that pays for that one today. Still not out the FTSE. We're still hedged on that. I don't think we're going to get an exit on that today because it's not going anywhere. Euro odd ADR. Okay, so we have just made a new high on the Euro odd. Again, look at this wick going in. We've got 5 minutes left on this candle. We are struggling, look. We got wick after wick after wick after wick going in here. And we're not making a lot of progress. So this is definitely stalling out. This is the smallest day we've had on Euro odd. And it's not actually, to tell a lie. Quite looked like it, didn't it? I suppose actually if you look at the full ranges, it's not a lot different, is it, to be honest? It's about the same as the last 3 days. Look at this, parabolic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Got to hold on. When you start selling the EAs, when will you? Already am, Paolo. When will I start selling the EAs on the website? Already am. So people have already bought stuff. So all the EAs are now available. So what I've done is everything is still on the marketplace. Marketplace has crashed twice today. People still can't pay by PayPal. Still can't pay by certain credit cards. So basically what I've done is I've set up all of the EAs on the website so that you can buy them all now on the website. So if you want to get a demo of any of the EAs that I've got, there's a demo downloads section, which you can click on that link or that link to get to. And that basically takes you to this page. And on this page, you can download a demo of every single product. These will all work in the strategy tester. This one I've put up there, but it doesn't work in a strategy tester because obviously it's a dashboard for open trades, and you won't have any open trades, so kind of ignore that one. But everything else obviously works in the strategy tester, but you can buy them direct on the website now if you want them, and you just basically choose whichever version you want, 4, 5, and if you do use both and you want both, you can now have them for 50% discount. Because I couldn't do discounts on MQL5 because they don't have any discounting structure. So you can now buy on the website. This is only for EAs. Indicators still on the marketplace. Yeah, so all the EAs are now available there. Market reverse alerts EA, I'm not selling direct on the website. If you want that, you can still get it from MQL5, but I'm not developing this anymore. It's obsolete. The position trader EA has taken over. This explains it. But if you want it, if you want the market reverse alerts EA, it's nothing wrong with it. It still works absolutely fine. It's just not as good as the position trader EA. So you can still get it, but you'll be taken to the marketplace to get that rather than the website. So they are available now. NAS just barcoding in 15. Yeah. Everything is. DOW, S&P, NASDAQ, nothing today. This is the first day of quiet. Yeah, we've had, I think, for a while, isn't it? If you look at what, you know, the lunacy that we've got going on at the moment, it's the first quiet day at the open we've had. So it might be the precursor here to a decent reversal starting. But this thing, you know, look, if you look at the last kind of, where are we going back to there? Beginning of December, really. So this is sort of mid-December. We've been ranging since mid-December, and then Trump got in. Yeah, and has completely destroyed the market. I mean, Trump got in here, to be fair, but this is where he started talking about what he's going to do. And, you know, what he said last night in his address to Congress was just not helpful. There's nothing came out of that was make America great, make America rich. It was tax the crap out of the world, and we might be able to get a deal done with Ukraine. There's plenty of other things you need to sort out. Markets are very much not interested. If you think about what a stock market is and what a stock index is, this is a measurement of the top 100 technological stocks in the US. Every single one of them now has to pay more for everything it buys from overseas, which is a lot. Yeah. You think about every company that you know, they all either import raw materials or import goods to sell. Everything they do has got 25% more expensive. There are two options. Put all your prices up, the people can't afford it, or drop your bottom line by 25%, make less profit. If you make less profit, your shareholders get paid less, which drops your stock price. That will not stop going down all the time tariffs are in place. When he says, I cocked up with tariffs, it will go back up again. But until then, this is going nowhere but south. How it gets there, obviously, is, you know, you have to wait and see. But, you know, Tesla is a prime example, isn't it? Yeah. Sales are down 43% in Europe. 43. He's just wiped off 50% of his company's value by joining Trump in government. It's not going back up again, because all the time he's there and all the time Trump's there, Tesla is not going to sell any cars anywhere but in the US. What do they do when they manufacture cars over there? Import a load of steel, import a load of electronics. Where do they come from? China. Just put 20% tariffs on them. Oh, hang on. So Teslas are going up by 20%. I'll buy a Chevrolet. Buy Tesla. Yeah. That's the way it's going to work. Starlink no longer has the contract in Ontario. Sorry, ripped it up. Not interested in Starlink anymore. They're all going to collapse. This is going to continue to collapse until Trump sorts his life out. But he's not, is he? So we'll see. Someone's going to have to. And the fact that Mexico turned around today and said they were going to deal direct with Canada, I thought that was hilarious. You put tariffs on him. What do? Gang up against you. Whoops, backfired a little bit, that one, didn't it? Anyway, we'll see. This is going to be a very fun couple of years. Anyway, but it'll all calm down at some point. I meant to ask for SIH. In the future, an option to use time-based ranges only and ignore ADR. Yeah, you can already do that. I did answer that question, Mume. You can already do that. So you set the times that you want to trade and not use ADR. So set the ADR to 0 and 100, and it will ignore ADR and take any range within that period. Yeah. So in SIH, all you've got to do, if you want to do that, is where you've got your minimum range, you set it to 0.001, and where you've got your maximum range, you set it to 1. So that is 1 ADR. So it's no ADR and 1 ADR. So it's basically any size of candlestick. Okay, it will take, and the times you want to trade. There you go. Just set that up. It already does what you want. I think that's the answer I gave you before. I didn't do this in here, but that's how you do it. So if you want to trade it on Forex between 2 and 8 a.m., you'd have to set whatever time you want to trade. You can't trade between 2 and 8 a.m. You need to set a time of some kind. But the ADR aspect, you can just basically set it to, I mean, it would probably work on 0. I've never tried. Try it in the back tester. Set it to 0 and 1. Euro odd. Oh no, it's 403. I thought I was looking at an hourly chart. So we closed high again. Look. So new higher high, higher low. It's the fourth higher high, higher low in a row. Actually, fifth. One of those is going to put in a lower low and a lower high. That's where you want to get interested. But right now we're going high again. Look at it, not stopping. We've got an inside bar formed on Euro Pound. So the pound is starting to fight back. Euro New Zealand, new high. Euro US, we've got an inside bar as well. So we have paused on Euro US, although this, I mean, it's only 4 minutes into this candle, but it is looking like it's fighting back again. Euro CAD 225 ADR now. It's exhausting. So Bank of England bets less than a 0.5% this year. Bailey has just been speaking. Trump trade advisor Navarro. We've had 2 days of volatility in the markets. I wonder why. Canada's PM Trudeau should tone it down. God, they are really fighting. It is literally like kids in a playground, isn't it? He said, she said, he said. Just, God, you're running countries, for God's sake. Grow up. Anyway. So, yeah, that's potentially a little bit bearish for the pound there. Obviously, so it's gone up. This market at the moment is just nonsensical, isn't it? Totally illogical. Let's get in and hold on. That's what we can do. Thanks for subscribing, Julian. Welcome aboard. Right, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Member stream at 8 o'clock. So I think I haven't quite decided what we're going to do tomorrow yet, but we'll obviously be doing similar stuff, having a look at what's going on at the moment. I'm going to do some live forward testing on the new version of ORB. So I'm going to set that up tomorrow. I think what I might do is leave this version running, because when something does 140% in 5 weeks, I'm always loath to turn it off. Because obviously you do accidentally find strategy edges, and this is one of those things. Obviously, I fine-tuned this. So I'm going to leave this running as well, but I'm going to set up another account that I can trade. I'll probably do it at Global Prime, actually, because the spreads are better on the FTSE, and I've got access to the FTSE, which I haven't got on Robo. No, I have got on Robo. I just haven't got the spreads. So yeah, so basically I might set up another account and I'll do the forward testing on that one just so that I've got another version running. But yeah, we'll look at that tomorrow morning as well. Other than that, I'm back on Friday. 8 o'clock Friday morning, and then obviously we will trade DAX and FTSE and have a look at this week. And fingers crossed, it's non-farm payroll day Friday. So obviously then we've got potential movement on the US dollar, but Euro tomorrow. So if you're not in the members stream tomorrow morning, we'll go through obviously the Euro side of things. It's going to be kill or cure tomorrow for that Euro, and then unemployment and the press conference obviously tomorrow afternoon. So this is really going to be the big one tomorrow. We are either going to attempt to go higher, or assuming we get the 2.65, I think probably more likely start that collapse. But at the moment, your guess is as good as mine with what's going on with that one. So please bear with me struggling to explain. I'll be back in the next stream. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're asking. Basically, if you're trying to do SIH on Forex, I don't necessarily think it's the right EA. First of all, there's no open on Forex, so you can't trade an opening range break. This one, the new one that I've built, trades volume. So yeah, this one might actually work on Forex. It will work on Forex. Let's do it now. Hang on, let me just choose something that's probably got data. This is a completely live test. I've never tested this on Forex before, so this could fail horribly. But basically, it's not looking at times, it's looking at ranges. So this is probably more likely what you want. It won't trade in the morning, though, because there's no volume. There we go. Made $3.5 grand, day one. Job done. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. $130 down, so break-even day. $1,600 up. $2.5 grand up. Done for the day. 2.8 done for the day. Break-even. That was a lost day. I didn't see how much it was. Went too fast. Whoa. I guess that's non-farm payroll. So this is Friday afternoon. Loss. Don't trade the news. Let's see what we do. $3.5 grand loss. 2.6 loss. So it's losing now. Look, up 5 grand. Up another 500 odd. So yeah, it works on Forex. It's the same thing. It's a breakout strategy. Yeah, breakouts work when the market breaks out. When the market doesn't break out, they don't work. Simple as that. So it's just trying to find volume. God, I wish I'd have got on that. 56k. $61 grand. Blimey, look at that. Just made 10 grand on that drop. But to be fair, that's news. So that's a risk reward of, I don't know what that risk reward is, but it's big, isn't it? You're not going to get that every day. That's an outlier. So that's an 80 pip stop and a 500 pip profit. So that's about a 7R. And I think it just happened to be using a very large lot. Yeah, 28 lots. So it was up on a 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplier. And it happened to get a news event that went its way. Half of trading is luck. There you go. Nice profit there. That was a nice clean break, normal trade, 65 grand. So yeah, there you go. This one will work in Forex. It's not what I built it for, but it'll work, and it can probably be fine-tuned. It's not using any trading stop or any risk reduction mechanism at all. So you probably want that with Forex. 9 grand? Right, anyway, I'll cover that another day. Right, so I'll be back tomorrow morning for members. If not, back on Friday morning. So anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. I'll be monitoring these, obviously, to see what occurs. Yeah, and we'll see what happens to this euro tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day for the euro. So either tomorrow it is going to start this collapse or it's not. And if it doesn't, it's going to have to be cut. So it's going to be a big loss, unfortunately. But for me, anyway. But not a lot you can do with it, really. It's gone crazy, and as Piers Morgan would say, the world's gone nuts. And I'll leave you on that. All right, so have a good one. Anything you need, let me know. Other than that, I'll see you either tomorrow or on Friday.